Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to do a design by Mateus Agnello. It is called the Cobbled Interlocked bar. Basically get your bracelet to this point here. If you're unsure of how to do that, please refer to the tutorial I did for just the basic Solomon. I think I might have called it the Cobra. Just look for the gray one. It's the only solid color one, or one of the only solid color bracelets I've done. So I've already got the Solomon here at the top. That just gives me a knot that kind of locks it in place. Take your orange around the back. So you've got a loop on the right. Then take the orange over the top and down through that loop. Now you're going to have another loop here. So you've got your half hitch. That's what this is called. That's a half hitch. You're going to take your loop over to the right side. Or I'm sorry, the left side. So you have a loop over here now on the left side. Take the blue and you're going to go down through that loop. So you're just threading the blue through that loop. So you should have something that looks like this. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see what I got going on here. Hopefully I can stay within the... How's that? That'll work. Now you're going to take the blue and you're just going to grab the end. Just one second, let me grab the end here. These are really long. I ran out of paracord last video I did, so I made sure I went a little heavy on the paracord. Okay, now you have kind of a triangle hole here. So you're just going to take the blue and you're going to go down through that triangle hole and run your blue right along with that orange, kind of parallel to it. And the blue is done. So for this part so far the blue is done. Now take your orange end, so grab the end of your orange, and you're going to go around the back and then up through this hole. So you've got the hole on the left. You're just going to go around everything in the back and then up through that hole. And you're not trying to loop around the blue, so this is by itself. Bring that up and through. And that's basically your tie. So now you just need to go back and tighten everything up. And this can be kind of tricky, especially on this first one. So what I would suggest is to pull a little back. You're going to have a loop on the top. That loop right there, right on the top. You're going to have a little, you're going to want to pull a little slack out of your main working end. So pull some back, and that'll give you something to grab hold of in just a second, and you'll see why I did that. Now, you want to get rid of this slack here first, so come over here to this orange loop and pull that slack out. And then you can tighten up your blue. And then you can pull that slack out. This one's really, really hard to get going. Probably one of the harder ones I've done. And then you can pull this through. Still not quite tight enough. You'll know when you get there because you won't be able to pull any more out. There we go. That should work. Yep. Okay, so that's the first one. The first one's the hardest one. It gets a little easier as you go. But it's the same thing now. So all you're going to do, take your orange, go around the back, take it off to the right, go over the top, and then down through this loop. Move the loop over to the right. Go down through that loop with the blue, or the right side now. Okay. Grab the end of your right side, the one that you just threaded through there, and you're going to thread it through this triangle hole there. So go down through there, and then run it parallel to this orange one that is already through. Okay. And then your last step here, and it looks like we got a little bit of twisting going on with this blue, so I want to get that out of there. It's working against me. Alright, there we go. Now the last thing, you're just going to take your orange, go around the two middle strands, and come up through this loop. Pull that on through. And that's what you should end up with. So if you get to this point, you're doing good. Now all you have to do is tighten it up, and that's the hardest part. So what I like to do is just to push everything up, kind of pinch it right there, and the first one that you want to pull on, you've got your blue strand that's going through that loop. That's the first loop that you want to pull to get everything tight. So pull all the, or I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. Disregard that. That's the one that you want to pull the slack out of. So the one that you have your other cord going through, that's the first one you want to pull your slack out of. So pull that through. And then you can go around the back. Pull the slack out through the back. And then make sure you pull your blue tight too at the same time. Because if you get at the end and you haven't pulled your blue through yet, and you're tight with your orange, it makes it really difficult. Okay, so we've gotten that pretty good and tight. Now the thing you want to watch out for is you want whichever color that you get all your back and forth going. I don't know how to explain it. In this case, the orange is going to be kind of looped over the edge, so you want to look out for that each time on each pass for that loop. So this loop right here needs to be the same every time. Okay, so that one's still kind of loose, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to just keep on going. I'm going to do one more, and that should give you enough instructions, I think, to finish this up. Okay, so create a loop, go through the loop. Got something like that. Push the loop to the other side, go down through that loop with your other color, and then before you pull it all the way through, grab that end because you're going straight to it. Okay, now you're going to have a triangle hole here, pretty close to a triangle, there we go. You're going to go down through that triangle hole, bring that off to the right. There's something that looks like that. Now just take your orange, it's already going over the two inner strands, so just take it around the back and then up through that first hole. Okay, push this up. Get a little of this blue out of here. That'll help out a little bit. And we're going to tighten this loop up first. So go to the other side, pull that slack through, and then follow that. Just follow it around. You can pull this up through here. It looks like that blue needs to be tightened down. At this point you can tighten your blue all the way down. Just make sure that this orange loop is on the edge. That's the one I was talking about last time. Okay, so get that blue nice and tight. And at this point we should be able to pull that loop out of there. Yep. There we go. Okay, and there's that. Now this could be tightened a little bit more. It'll just take a little bit of patience to go back and use your paracording pliers to pull, cinch it through. I don't have them handy right here, but they do help out a lot for something like this. Just keep going. I'm going to finish this up. I'll show you how to end it at the end. Okay. Well, I just finished up the last one here. I don't think I have enough room to do one more, but I need to finish this with a Solomon anyway. So what I'm going to do is since my blue is the last one that went over top the middle, I'm actually going to run that across the middle, create a loop on the left, take my left side over that right side cord, go around the back, pull that through, and that'll give me one really nice tight knot where I can cut and singe the edges on. And it didn't really affect my design too much there. Alright, so I'm just going to snip the ends. Singe them, use the low part of the flame. On the darker colors you probably could use the higher part of the flame, but just be warned that the paracord will turn black. Just like that. And then I use my scissors here. Works really well to smooth over these edges so that they don't cut into you. And I'll show you an example of that. I've been wearing this one for a little while, and there's a hard edge right there. It might be kind of hard to see with the lighting I've got, but kind of digging into my arm with that one there. But the scissors do a real good job of smoothing that over real well. Let me zoom out on here real quick. Okay, got one more to cut, and we'll be good to go. I do have a lot of new stuff coming to the website in the next couple weeks. Colored buckles are on the way. Got shackles on the way. Got some other cool stuff. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I've got a little slack down here, so I'm just going to kind of pull that down, kind of fill that in a little bit. But there you go, that is the Cobbled Interlocked bar, and the design is by Matthias Agnello. This is the back side of it. Now one thing, the pictures that he came up with for the tutorial, if you tie it the way that he has it shown, you're actually going to end up with this on the outside of your or on the outside of the bracelet. So it would look like that. So what I had to do is I had to actually figure out how to do his tie backwards so that this side was what he had shown in the bottom right corner of his tutorial. So there it is. Hope you like that. Please subscribe. I really appreciate that. And then paracord on.